purpose of that particular passage, when it says, let not the sun go down in your anger, it's not saying, well, every argument's got to be settled that day. That's not what it's saying.
Right. That's not
But it is saying, deal with these issues. Don't allow too much time to go by in between them, because, sores that are covered don't heal.
That's right.
And so we have to deal with things relatively quickly. And part of the reason we have to deal with things quickly is because there's going to be something else coming up real quick.
That's right.
And you don't want this stuff to start piling up on you.
Right.
Emotional abuse.
I think what supports the process is if this is a tactic that you are using. The Bible says that we should not let the sun go down before we've reconciled our anger towards our brother, towards our sister.
Sure.
Right? And so to me, that is one of, okay, if you're angry, silent treatment you want to use, okay, there is a limit that we're supposed to employ. Now, obviously, the golden rule would be, let's say, eliminate that practice altogether. But what I'm saying is, in the moment of anger, in the moment of dissatisfaction with someone, there should be a short window on any anger, any expression of anger, even in the silent treatment.
Yeah. Well, and the purpose of that particular passage, when it says, let not the sun go down in your anger, it's not saying, well, every argument's got to be settled that day. That's not what it's saying.
Right. That's not.
But it is saying, deal with these issues. Don't allow too much time to go by in between them, because, sores that are covered don't heal.
That's right.
And so we have to deal with things relatively quickly. And part of the reason we have to deal with things quickly is because there's going to be something else coming up real quick.
That's right.
And you don't want this stuff to start piling up on you.
Right.
So we got a solid, I think, a working definition of verbal emotional abuse. I think physical abuse, well, let's go back to Pastor Adam then on that. Pastor Adam, how would you define physical abuse?
So physical abuse can be defined generally as any non-accidental physical injury to the person, and can include striking, kicking, burning, or biting, or any action that results in physical impairment, damage, or injury to the person. So anything that's non-accidental.
Anything that is any physical contact that is non-accidental. Right.
So we're not, if you're pushing somebody down the stairs, that's obviously intentional.
Okay.
So accidental versus it being something that actually is intentional.
Okay. Then go ahead. I'm sorry.
Short of self-defense, it is my view, my belief, my conviction that there is no reason for any man or woman to abuse their spouse physically. Absolutely. None whatsoever. And I think when you start trying to rationalize why you did it, I think you give people in routes to their behavior, to rationale their behavior. Okay. Because you're basically saying, she upset me, she was all in my face, she pushed my triggers. So as a child acts out, I'm going to act out.
I'm in agreement with that, but I'm going to extend it to verbal abuse as well. Because words to a woman are fists to a man.
Wow.
I agree with that.
She may not be able to whoop you physically, but she can whoop you, but she may be able to whoop you verbally.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's not a comparison thing, but we do know that we can all remember some things that were said to us when we were young kids. Some harsh words that were spoken that 30, 40, 50 years later, we're still remembering, versus some fights or spankings that we got that we couldn't remember, that we can't remember the pain of one bit. Right. Some of those words that were spoken hit harder than a fist, and if we think about them long enough, could probably put a tear in your eye today.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm totally agreement. That's why I never, even as a young kid, I never bought into the riddle, sticks and stone.
Right.
May hurt my bone, but words never won't. I'm not quite sure who came up with that, but I don't think it was articulate enough, and it didn't speak to the true assessment. Words do hurt. I'm still reeling from a teacher's, consider me the class clown, which I was, but she also added on to something, and I can deal with that part, the class clown part of it. But what I couldn't deal with is that you would never become anything. because you were a distraction.
Yeah.
And those things, as a 55-year-old man, I've not forgotten that. So words do hurt. Things we say, and it's a lingering effect that can be on one's psyche, which one can to make the statement that though those things can be so much more detrimental than physical violence, not belittling physical violence at all, but the impact that can have, because now it becomes in one's psyche, that you're rating somebody with your words and things that you're going to say, and they don't necessarily have to be profanity.
That's right.
But demeaning. Are you going to lose weight? You look bad in this, and are you going to do anything? None of that's profanity, but just the demeaning aspect of it can be really traumatizing to both male and female.
Man, I remember the harshest words that were ever said to me. That would be 41 years ago now, by someone who I love and respect. They were just frustrated, and they, those people, they did the best they could with what they had.
Right.
But
Right.
the statement was this: sometimes you kids are more trouble than y'all worth.
Wow.
That was the statement.
Yeah.
And I've never forgotten it. And so, but I don't remember. I can't remember any of the spankings that I got. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Pastor John here. Please, if you like this video that you just saw, hit that like button for us. Second thing I want to ask you to do is to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're putting out videos once a day at about 5:30 p.m. Hit that bell notification so that you'll know when a new video has been uploaded. And then the final thing to do, share this video, share this information. If you know somebody that has a need that it can be benefited by it, please put it out in circulation so that we can try to help as many people as possible. Thanks, and God bless.